What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I just thought I would do a little update in my life, what I've kind of been up to, which is I've been in quarantine for the last, what's today? So today is October 15th. I have been in quarantine since Sunday, which would be, I want to say the 10th? Let me double check. I don't know. I haven't taken math in 2 years. So I've been in quarantine since the 11th. So I thought there's no better opportunity than to just share a little update in my life, how I've been doing on a bunch of different aspects. Plus I am bored and in quarantine. So why not make YouTube videos? First things first, it is finally fall. And when I say I love fall, like it is one of my favorite seasons. Now, if I'm being honest, I do prefer fall back at home in Portland just because I think the evergreen trees kind of mixed with, you know, like the non-evergreen trees when they start turning like all the really pretty colors. I just think it's beautiful, plus the rain. But fall is really pretty here in Twin. Anyways, fall is like my second favorite season with spring being the first, but I love fall fashion. Oh my god, it's so nice. And especially since I've been moving towards kind of more of a minimalistic type of style, I think it's a lot more easily suited with fall fashion trends. So kind of the first thing I really want to start it off with is I am here at school for softball, and I'm honestly so blessed to be able to have the opportunity to come back to Idaho and be able to play, to be on the field, to practice, to train with my teammates. So 7 months ago, I was sent home early from school due to the pandemic, along with the rest of my teammates. Our softball season was canceled, but just coming from the perspective of an athlete, I think it was very mentally challenging, just in the sense that we had worked so hard in the off season to start playing, and we were performing so well, and then just to have it all taken away. Where I'm going with this is throughout these last 7 months, I have learned one of the biggest lessons, and that is to never take a day on the field for granted. And every single day I continue to learn that lesson. I was just really lucky to be able to even play some scrimmages. We got the opportunity at my school to scrimmage some club ball teams, and we got about 8 games in, which I think is a blessing because we weren't able to schedule anything with the 4 years. We weren't able to really play any other JUCOs that were around us because a lot of them aren't going back to school. Over this last year, I've learned to fall back in love with the sport that I grew up playing, that I fell back in love with softball. I feel like a lot of other athletes can kind of relate to this in the sense that, you know, depending on the environment that you're in, it can really skew the way you look at your sport. I absolutely love the program that I'm a part of. It has helped me grow so much as a player, as a young woman, and I'm so thankful to continue to be a part of this program and to be able to have this opportunity to play with girls that love the sport the same way that I do, that compete the same way that I do. And that's why I cannot wait until we get the opportunity to start traveling again and start competing against schools within our conference and experience those series games again. The 2 weekends that I got this last spring 2020 was probably the most fun I've had playing softball that I can remember, other than maybe like when I was in 12 or 14 U club ball. It was just so much fun, and being able to get a taste of that again, playing those scrimmages, I just like, I'm itching, like I'm just biting at the bit because I cannot wait to start traveling again. But of course, things happen, and we had to end our fall ball season a little bit early, which kind of moves me into maybe more of the mental aspect of how I've been doing. I have been extremely homesick lately, and I think it's mostly because I'm not even that far from home. Last year I was just so busy all the time that I didn't have the opportunity to feel homesick. Was so go all the time. When we got sent home early, I had to learn who I was for a multitude of reasons. Quarantine causes you to spend a lot of time with yourself, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but when you're not used to doing it, and when you're like me, a person who really enjoys being a busy bee and just stacking up their workload so they don't have to address certain emotions or issues, it hits you when you get that time by yourself. And that was the point I was at the first few months. I was home, and that's kind of something that I'm going through again in a sense. I got so used to being around my family all the time. I just miss their presence and being able to go spend time with my parents, or being able to go visit my sister where she lives. I was still able to safely spend time with the people that I love. Kind of my support network is back in Portland. I've kind of been struggling learning how to cope with that here. I have people here, but my family is back at home, and and I wish I could just go home for the weekend, but I can't. It's putting a lot of things in perspective. It's kind of forcing me to put my big girl pants on. It's been pretty mentally taxing for me in that sense. And last year, like, I missed home a little bit, but I was a lot more busy because, you know, we weren't in the middle of a pandemic, and I was kind of out doing stuff with people more. And this year I want to be extra safe. I don't want to put my team's opportunity to play at risk. I've been spending a lot of time at home. I wouldn't quite say isolation, but like I said, I don't go out. I'm not gonna risk it. I'd rather just be safe at home. But because of that, I've had to learn how to find other outlets. I'm definitely somebody that likes to be busy, like I said, and I think working out only does so much for me. Like, it's a physical outlet, and it only takes up a few hours of the day, and then I have practice a few hours a day, and then I only have class. And so there's a lot of time that I have to myself when I have completed all my homework and completed everything I need to do, especially on the weekends when a lot of people end up going home. And I've had to kind of relearn how to be comfortable with myself. Circling back to finding creative outlets, I remember that I used to bake all the time. When I was like in middle school and like maybe beginning years of high school, I used to love baking. Like, that was something that I did all the time. I used to love painting and making art. As I got older, I just kind of stopped. I lost my creative outlets. I genuinely think that we have to have multiple outlets in order to put our energy towards stuff that will help us continue to grow. And I was only using physical outlets. I wasn't tapping into that creative energy like I used to when I was a kid. I used to spend hours upon hours baking, creating, making art, and whether it was good or not, cool, but it was something that I enjoyed doing. It was something that could take my mind off of whatever I was stressing or worrying about. So I kind of rediscovered, you know, my passion for those things, especially baking. I created a little highlight story on my Instagram. I've been making a lot of different cookies, cupcakes, cakes, everything. I've always wanted to have a bakery, and with that, I want to prepare myself and learn more about something that I love so I can hopefully do this as maybe a part-time career in the future. I would love to have my own bakery. I would love to own my own business and maybe like a little coffee shop, like coffee shop and bakery. Like, that's ideal. And that's exactly what I've been doing, and it has been one of the most stress relieving activities that I've done in a very long time, and I'm starting to feel a lot more reconnected with myself. I made a blanket. I've never made a blanket before. How cool is that? And I've been painting. There's another piece that I just put up on my wall. I'm creating decorations. I've been baking, drawing, and it's a long process of learning how to refine yourself, but it's something that I'm taking baby steps at, and it's not easy, but I understand that if I want to continue to grow and become the best version of myself, I have to understand that this journey will not be easy. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, is that I only had a physical outlets, and I realized I was starting to really overwork my body and not get enough sleep, and I was really feeling the effects of it at one point a few weeks ago. I was lifting twice a day on top of practice. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I was getting maybe 5 hours of sleep, waking up at the crack of dawn, like 4 a.m. because I was stressed if I slept in, was being a total workaholic. And I could see how it was physically wearing down on me. And I've lost about like 8 to 10 pounds, which was not really my goal. I was trying to maintain weight. I definitely took a step back and realized that I need to start taking better care of my body. This is really all over the place. I'm sorry. I had an idea of an order that I wanted to do, but I just didn't follow it on brand. Lastly, I ended up switching my major, which was something that I've really been thinking about. I ended up dropping my education major, keeping my Spanish one, and I will be adding business because, like I previously mentioned, I really would like to own my own bakery slash coffee shop. And I also really wanted to pursue sports marketing. I really want to be a part of the sports world. I want to help kind of younger athletes. I'm really interested in like the PR and sports marketing aspect of business, and I realized that it's more suitable for the type of career that I would like to develop for myself, and I can still give back to communities in the way that I want to. It's just going to be more sports oriented. So yeah, I'm just finishing up my Spanish degree. I've been taking French. It is so hard, but I have a tutor. It's just so different from Spanish, and I'm really struggling pronouncing the R I will be taking a lot of business courses next semester, and hopefully I will be done with that business degree by fall or spring. There's a lot of pressure to declare a major and to want to know what you want to do for the rest of your life, and I genuinely think that's really unfair because we don't know. We're so young, and I was so stressed out about switching my major for the longest time, and there's just a week when I was at school like a month ago where I just broke down because I didn't know what to do. I thought I wanted to go into education to be a teacher. I just realized that through taking the education courses, being a teacher is something I want to do later down the road when I've created a network, that I can still give back and help guide young athletes and young men and women towards the path that's right for them. And I can do that if I build a network. I can do that if I create opportunities for myself that I could share with others. And that's something that I realized a couple weeks ago when I decided to switch my major. But in conclusion for this video, I've learned to be a lot more comfortable with my decisions. I tend to think stuff through. I might overthink a lot more than not. I learned that it's okay to struggle finding out who I am, and that I don't have to label myself on any means. And it's a journey, and I'm trying to enjoy every part. Comment below what is one thing you guys have learned within these last 6 to 7 months ever since the pandemic. I'm really curious to see, what you guys said. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and remember to leave that comment down below. I will see you guys in the next video whenever